Hi guys, Portia here. Today we will be etching a glass mug for my dad. So I'm already in Design Space. The image that I have inserted is a letter C, and in between the lines we're going to go ahead and put his name in there, and I am going to use the Wilson font. I liked it when I saw it. I got that from thefont.com. I think that's like where I get the majority of my fonts from. For the most part, they have a plethora of fonts, which I'm sure if you're watching this video, you probably already know that. Okay, so once you get your word in there, you're going to want to make sure that you kind of nestle it in there. So you don't want it to touch the two lines because you don't want to cut off the top or bottom. Well, at least I didn't want to. Yeah, go ahead and make sure that the letters and the capital letter C is aligned. And right here, I went on ahead and made sure I welded together the name and then the monogram, because you don't want to lose those pieces. Now, what I'm doing is, because I'm going to be etching this on glass, I want to create a box so that when I actually go to remove my positive space, I want to be left with negative space. So from here, I'm just going to go ahead and align our box and our letter and words, and we are going to slice that. So I don't need the black part, I don't need the positive space. What we're left with is negative space, and so this is what I'm going to actually stick to the glass to etch in to create the monogram. Now on the other side, I want to write words. So a special saying. So it says, difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. So I'm going to create negative space with the saying as well. But the reason why I picked this particular saying is because my dad and I haven't always been close. But I thank God that we are now. We are building a relationship. So I cannot affect what happened in the past, but I can change our present. And I know that he'll be there for me and I'll be there for him in the future. So that's why I said difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. He's now living in Colorado with the love of his life, married and all that good stuff. So mushy, mushy, cushy, cushy. So yeah, that's why I chose that saying. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and attach these, because I wanted to pretty much print out from top to bottom. But yeah, you print from there and you go ahead and clean your mug. I always use alcohol to clean that with, so I have a nice clean surface. So I've already cut and I'm left with the negative space. Like I said, we're not working with that positive space. We need our negative space to etch in. And I did go ahead and just eyeball this. Sometimes working with the ruler gets a little bit more cumbersome, and this was pretty easy to lay. So you want to make sure that there are no pockets, because we don't want our Armour Etch to get underneath our sticker that we've created. So definitely take your time and have that lay down the right way. And this did take me a little bit of time to get down. All right, we're all good. Now let's get that other side taken care of. Making sure it's clean, and I'm using a towel to kind of hold it up for me. All right, so because it is words, more words than with a monogram, I did not want this to be crooked, so I did have to actually pull out my ruler. Oh boo. But I did want to make sure that this did not read as crooked, because it's so easy to, especially when you have a lot of words. Make sure we burnish that down really well. Again, don't want any of the Armour Etch to go into the wrong places. All right, so we have our stickers in place. Looks pretty darn good to me. Let's go ahead and prepare to do our etching. So that stuff really stinks, so I'm using a face mask, and it is like an acid, so you do not want this to get on your skin. So that's why I have on gloves. So you want to shake the product really well. And like I said, oh my gosh, it really stinks. And then you begin to paint in the areas that you want etched. So you want to definitely be careful not to get it on the things outside of your little sticker. That's why I like to create that box around there, because I have plenty of space to work in and I don't have to be super duper careful when I'm etching or using the product, because I know that I have a large area to put the cream down. And the cream is pretty thick, just in case you're wondering. It's not sliding around or anything like that. Once it lays, it lays. So kind of discovered that as I went along, because it was my first time using it on both sides at the same time. But I said, why not? I'm a risk taker. And then you notice I kept checking just to make sure that it didn't slide around, but it didn't slide around. And you want to definitely add a really, really thick layer. So it has been about 10 minutes and I can kind of feel with the popsicle stick that it has etched the glass. So at this point, I am just going to go ahead and start to scrape it off, and I'm putting the Armour Etch back into its little jar because you can reuse it. I have seen other YouTubers do this and it works just fine on the next go round. So I said, why not? All right, got that side done. Let's get our monogram all wiped off. And again, be careful not to get any on the surfaces that you don't want it to touch, because it really only takes about, the instructions say 60 seconds to etch, but I let it stay for 10 minutes. Okay, so I have rinsed it in warm water. Now it is time to remove the vinyl because its purpose has been served. I had to take those gloves off. It was sticking all over the place. So we're good now. And I am using the weeding tool. It's like literally I'm weeding on grass. I'm weeding on glass. And then you definitely want to be careful. The tool is a little sharp, so you don't want to scratch your glass in the process. I keep saying that. All right, guys, we are done. I am so pleased with the results. I can't even tell you. So if you got any questions, concerns, emotional outbursts, let me know in the comments. I will respond. And if you haven't done so, go ahead and subscribe to Color Me Portia. Until next time, peace.